back. Hi, did you miss us? We missed you. It's been relatively 2 weeks, or however long it took Mikey, the editor, to edit this podcast. Hi, Mikey. I hope you're doing well. Remember, this is past Mikey. Drink some water and don't batch record episodes all at once. Hopefully you learned from the last time you did that, or maybe you did it this time. Who knows? But welcome back to Brave New Wild, a Junior Braves of the Apocalypse actual play podcast. And we are back with our lovely cast to continue with our character creation. Unfortunately, our lovely Adolfo had to knock out early for the night. He has a bebe that needs to go to sleep, and he also would like to go some sleep. So we will get his character full reveal next time. But I am here with the rest of my cast. So Chris, Sut, Finn, Kellin, Josh, and not a window, but Amador. We are going to finish up the immediate character creation. So last time where we left off, I asked my players to think about the 3 skill patches they would like to give their scouts. Now, once again, skill patches, as far as mechanics-wise of Junior Braves, gives them a +3 to a roll when they do any activity or action that is associated or requires the use of a certain skill set. And if the skills patch that they have applies to the situation at hand, when they roll for a success, they can add 3. But there is a trade-off. If they use their skill patch in a way and explain to me, and it's beyond credibility, instead of getting the +3, they get a +1. So they still get a bonus, but it is a lot smaller, which increases the margin of error by a little bit, but not too much. Alrighty, boys, over the break, I asked you to take a look at your skill patches to see what kind of skills you would like your Brave to have. So before having to leave for the night, Adolfo decided to get the 3 skill patches of computers, mechanics, and metal work. So really leaning into that tinkerer role. So that's going to be fun. Alrighty. So Cristobal, we are going to start with you first. So what skill patches do you think your Jock would have?
So this one is actually pretty easy for what I was going with. I'm going to be going with cycling, swimming, and archery.
That's like the trifecta of summer camp, and I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. And yeah, those definitely fit with your Jock, so those are good. Alrighty, Sutphin, our Rustic. What skill patches would our Rustic have?
And I do have one question, and if I haven't made it to that point yet, I do beg forgiveness. Are there mechanics to earn additional patches, or is that just not you pick 3 what you get kind of thing?
So the way that the patches work is you, at the start of character creation, you get 3 patches. So you may choose 3 skill patches to have. And the reason why you get 3 is because you want to at least try to diversify your character choices as best as you can. And we can talk about this later because you do get a chance to level up in this game. We can discuss that as advancement, all that good stuff, yada, yada. So the way that advancement works is after you as a group get 4 advancement, because it's group instead of individual, and we'll go over advancement during the actual campaign. With each advancement, you are allowed to suggest 2 or 3 new skill patches for each individual scout. And after certain advantages, you may get to choose an additional one after you reach a certain number of advancements throughout the campaign. So you start with 3, and then you have the potential to gain more as the campaign goes on.
Cool. I wanted to clarify that. So let's do navigation, foraging, torn between literature and geology. Now, I don't know why literature stuck in.
I like literature because literature sounds fun. Geology definitely fits with the rustic, but literature can also help as well, especially if you come across books of that nature and things like that.
Let's do navigation, foraging, and
What was the third one again?
geology.
Okay. Geology. Alrighty. Alrighty, Kellin. What skill patches does our adventurer have?
So I decided to go with climbing, swimming, and then knots and rope. This gonna seem like basic scout ones, especially if they're adventurer. That's stuff they would know.
I kid you not, knots and ropes saved me during the one shot that I played in during that Renegade virtual con. It's so good. But all right, so
Having a 20 in flight makes sense to have climbing and swimming.
be like, get up there now, duh. All right, Joshy boy, the ruffian, what skill patches does he have?
Self-defense for one. And I'm torn between excavation and climbing. Climbing, does that mean just like rock climbing, stuff like that?
So, because of how broad it is, climbing can be any use of it. So, you could be climbing up rocks, climbing up trees, climbing up walls, basically climbing anything.
Okay. And excavation, that's just basically anything that involves with digging.
Digging up stuff in the sense of an archaeological sense. So, bones, artifacts, that kind of stuff.
Okay. So I'm gonna go with self-defense, climbing, and I'm gonna be that guy and go with shooting.
Alrighty.
There are rifle and shotgun merit badges in Boy Scouts, which is nuts.
Yes, that is true. Alrighty. Honestly, this is a good spread. So Amador, last but not least, which 3 badges does our oddball have?
Mix and bag of treats here. We got the first one going to be first aid. Then we're going to go with radio and codes. And finally, botany.
Ooh, that is awesome.
I know to tell us that the mushrooms we're gonna try to eat will kill us.
See that, and that's what I was gonna ask, because it is a broad term. Would like mycelium or like mushrooms fall under the umbrella that we call botany? Because I know for sure plant life, trees, whatever it may be, is under botany, but does that also include mushrooms? And yeah,
I will say, for the sake of this game, I will include mushrooms and fungi and plants and flowers and shrubs all underneath botany.
yeah, okay. Sweet. What a fun guy.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Get out.
It was nice having a recording with you guys. See you later.
Wow. Just wow. And after Mikey was nice enough to give you the win there.
I know. I guess I gotta leave.
At least you don't have your roots. At least you haven't set your roots yet.
You better be careful. We're barking up the wrong tree.
Just come back to me.
Baby, come back. Wow.
Baby,
You can blame it all.
oh, Chris.
I do not have the mental capacity right now for this.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is why I'm playing the oddball.
I'm sleep deprived. That's why I chimed in.
Gonna be like, why didn't you choose the clown?
Oh my goodness. Do you regret joining Chris? No.
No, I'm kidding.
I feel like this is a fair trade-off.
I was like, Chris, just think, if I chose the clown, you would be hearing a lot more puns.
Trust me, this man has got lots and lots of puns ready to go.
So I've heard.
So you're saying he's a real punny guy?
Oh, okay. Let's continue before Chris decides to end the recording. Because he has
You know I have admin privileges.
I know, that's
I was
why.
hovering over the kick button.
Don't do it, please. Don't do it. Alrighty. So that is going to be the skill patches. So let's go through everyone's once again. So the Tinkerer, or Adolfo, our Tinkerer, has picked computers, mechanics, and metalwork. Chris, our Jock, has picked cycling, swimming, and archery. Sutphin, our Rustic, has picked navigation, foraging, and geology. Kellin, our adventurer, has picked climbing, swimming, and knots and ropes. Josh, our ruffian, has picked self-defense, climbing, and shooting. And Amador, the oddball, has picked first aid, radio and codes, and botany. Okay. So, the last thing that we're going to do for this immediate character creation is we're going to get into my favorite part. So, we're going to do bonds. So, just like any good Braves troop in this game or any particular Boy Scouts, is that they are an eclectic group of individuals. Some get along and some don't. So, this is how bonds are going to work. At this point, all of you have gotten this far as a troop. So, what we're going to do is really quickly, we're going to establish bonds. So, I'm going to go around and each of you is going to pick another brave to have a somewhat relationship with in terms of friend, cousin, whatever you want it to be. But you get to decide whether you want to be on good terms or bad terms with scouts. Because you can't always be on everybody's good side, nor can you always be on everyone's bad side. So it's always a give and take. Now, here's the kicker. You get to decide whether it's good or bad terms, but then the dice decides what prompt is going to connect you guys to each other. So, this is going to be fun.
I'm sorry, I'm going to use my D4 and brains. What does that mean?
So, what that means is essentially, Josh, so when I get to you, you get to pick another player and you can decide if your two characters are on good terms or bad terms with each other. So you decide whether you have a good or bad relationship with that player's character, but you're going to roll the 20-sided die, the D20, and it's going to decide what kind of good or bad relationship you have with them. And so we're going to get some good, juicy exposition details between characters.
Okay, so before that starts, Amador is an oddball. Chris
is the Jock.
Is the Jock. Sutphin is what?
Is Rustic.
Rustic.
So he's your outdoorsy man. Kellin is the adventurer, and Adolfo is the tinkerer.
Okay.
Alrighty. Josh, since we're talking right now, let's have you go first. Step one. Yeah, so pick another player. So which player would you like to have a... That was easy. All right, so hold up. Let me write this down.
Ironically enough, I was also going to choose you.
Oh, let's go!
But you weren't gonna what I was gonna say.
Oh shit.
All right, so hold up. Let me make this mood matrix map thing a majig. And what's going to be funny is Adolfo gets to pick this at the next start of our session, so that's going to be fun. All right, Josh, so you have decided to have a establishing relationship with Amador. So, question, are you on good terms?
Plans, and I'm going to say we're on good terms.
Okay. So now comes the ultimate question. Do you want to roll the D20 or do you want me to?
I went this far. Screw it. I'll roll.
Okay, roll your D20. And you're on good terms, so I will read you the prompt and then we'll just get a little bit. You don't have to give me full backstory, but just a tiny bit. This is going to be so much fun. All right, Joshua, what did you end up getting on your 20-sided die?
16.
I'm going to have you roll it again because... Okay, so let me preface by saying this. I know it's not for everybody, so I will read it out loud and you can choose to roll again if you want, because 16 says, you have a secret crush on Amador's character and don't want them to know.
Yeah, I'm going to re-roll.
All on accounts, I would have been totally okay with it.
Yo, same.
That really would have helped set up Amador to still do the bad side they wanted.
I'm still gonna choose the bad bonds, but yeah.
I was scared for a second. I thought that was going to be the same thing, but no, this time it was a 17.
Okay. Okay, this one's a little fun. So both of you can tell me, again, we don't need to go through backstory. You can just give me a little burr, but 17. So Josh, now all of this is written in first person. So this is your character, Josh, saying this. I don't think Amador's character remembers when we first met. How did you two first meet?
Some ass
Again, so
was
between
like, yo, give me your lunch money. And I walked up and I punched the guy in the ears.
You robbed him of his lunch money?
Huh?
You robbed him of his lunch money?
No. Someone else was like, hey, give me your lunch money. I walked up to that guy and punched him in the ears. Not Amador.
Okay.
The guy trying to take the lunch money.
Okay. So you stopped somebody who was trying to rob him. Okay.
Yes.
Stop.
It could have went south real quick.
Stopped lunch money robbery. That is amazing. Alrighty.
I saved
So
him like $2.50, but he still don't like me.
Since we're on this topic, so the thing is that you each only get to pick one. So all of you know of each other, but some of you know each other a little bit more than others. Joshua picked Amador. Amador, you said you were going to pick Josh back.
Yes, but I think I want to change it. I love you, Josh. Nothing personal.
Out of curiosity, though, what was you gonna do? I need to know this.
I was gonna pick bad bonds, and I was either gonna do I know a dirty secret about you, or what was the other one? I don't think your character should have joined, in lieu of you're always getting targeted because you play the hero, so you being the hero makes the other bullies want to gang up on us and make us a target. And since you can't be there all the time, things like that. But I think I'm gonna spice in the pot, and I'm gonna choose Chris's character, and I'm still gonna choose bad bonds between us two.
Which Chris?
Okay.
Oh shit! Oh,
Okay, we gotta figure out. So you either want Riku or Sutphin.
Riku.
Okay.
I mean, that's gonna be a running joke the entire time.
It already is in another game.
It is.
I'm like, Chris, yes. Oh shit, which one? Okay. So roll me the D20.
I'm gonna have you roll the 20. I want to see what your little hands can muster up.
Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. Let me get out this amazing fun dice. Where are you? There you are. All right, here we go. So rolling. So that is going to be a 3. Yeah, Chris is following along. So I rolled a 3, which means, and this is from Amador's perspective, I would throw Chris's character under the bus if it meant I would look good.
God, that's evil. I love it.
Okay, so I would say in Amador's offense, if we were actually allowed to choose it, Riku, I was almost tempted to do that between me and you with Adventure of Jock.
Damn.
It makes sense though, because I'm a shut-in. I'm a nerd. If it means I can get ahead just a little bit, I gotta play the cards right. Gotta fix them a little bit.
Good lord.
Lord help us. This is great. All right, Chris, since Amador picked you, I guess we could go to you next. Which player would you like to have a bond with?
I'm gonna choose Kellin's character.
I was gonna joke and say he chose me, bad bonds, because I was the guy that punched him in the ears.
All right, so with Kellin's character, do you want to have a good or a bad bond?
Let's do a good bond for this one.
Oh,
Screw it.
all right. So now
I'm the asshole.
no, don't worry. We still got 2 other people, so that may or may not change. But all right. So Chris, do you want to roll or do you want me to?
I'll go ahead and roll.
Do it.
Oh, this could be fun. I roll a 7. Nobody thinks we should get along so well, but we do.
Considering the joke I was making, that'd be funny. It's like the whole, like, you know, those friends that like always kick each other's butts.
Oh yeah. I want to say that we're like the Pokemon rivals. We're friendly rivals.
Actually, no. Actually, I got a better example. Hulk and Thor.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. I love it. I love it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so that's great. Nobody thinks you two should get along, but somehow y'all do. That's amazing. And then obviously we could do full flesh backstory in that later. All right, Kellin. So since Chris picked you, it is now your go. So which character would you like to have a bond with?
We're gonna go with Sutphin.
Sweet.
And you know what? Just so Amador is not the only one to choose, we're gonna go bad Bond.
Alrighty, Kellin. So you can roll the d20, or you want me to?
No, I'll roll it. I just want to make sure I copy and paste from the book and the little note I'm making for the good Bond I have so far.
Nice.
And also, depending on what I get here, Sutphin, I'm sorry, maybe not sorry. Okay, so this actually leads to some intrigue. I rolled a 13. Something just doesn't seem right about your character.
Oh shit!
I don't know. Maybe you're eating some wrong mushrooms.
Doesn't seem right.
You don't talk about what happens.
It's like first rule of mushroom eating. We don't talk about mushroom eating. It's like first rule about Fight Club. Don't talk about Fight Club.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. All right, Sutphin. So, last but not least, who would you like to have a bond with?
Let's even it out. Let's choose Adolfo.
Okay. I can't wait to tell Adolfo. Be like, by the way, he chose you. All right. Do you want to have a good or bad bond with Adolfo's character?
Part of me wants to say bad bond, considering he's the tinkerer, and the strange, odd, whatever.
Nature versus machine.
Yeah, let's try it.
All right. So bad, and then roll me that d20.
That would be a 1.
Okay.
So I resent him for what they did 2 years ago.
Oh shit! Juicy. So resent from 2 years ago, and obviously, I definitely want to wait until next episode with Adolfo to flesh that out a little bit since he's involved in it. Alrighty, and then of course next time Adolfo, when we get him back, we'll have him do this bond. Honestly, if he wants to complete the chain, he should really pick Josh, and then we literally have a full ass circle. All right, so really quickly to recap everything that we have. So Josh is on good terms with Amador, and he stopped Amador's character from getting robbed of his lunch money. Amador is on bad terms with Chris and will throw him under the bus if need be. Gosh, that's going to be so good to RP, not gonna lie. Chris is on good terms with Kellin. For some reason, they shouldn't get along, but they do anyways. Kellin is on bad terms with Sutphin's character, which there's something not right about Sutphin's character, according to Kellin. And then Sutphin resents Adolfo's character for what he did 2 years ago. This is amazing. I love it so much. Alrighty. So, the last thing that we're going to do real quickly for character creation, so to speak, is I want to go over real quickly Brave tokens. So now we're going to get into the boring mechanics portion of this, and then we'll wrap up for this part. So, in Kids on Bike system, like I mentioned earlier in part 1, when you are rolling for a check using one of your 6 stats, you may pass or you may fail. So the cool thing is with this system, the magic number that you are looking for in this case is a goal. So for each time you roll a stat, what's going to end up happening is when me, your lovely guide through this misadventure, decides that you need to roll a stat, I will tell you what stat you need to roll, and then on top of that, you are going to roll the dice that is associated with the magic number. And Amador will be used to this because on Kids on Bikes, when we played, the magic number was 4. So all you needed to do was get a 4 or higher. In Junior Braves, the magic number here is 3. So as long as you roll a 3 or higher, you will do fine. So honestly, because this game is more of a collaborative storytelling, if anything, yada, 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 you'll be fine. there's the magic number, so you shall be fine. Now, of course, that is the baseline. If, depending on the situation, if things are dire and there are things like hindrances or threats which make the situation harder, I may choose to increase that difficulty up to however much I want, but obviously I'm going to be fair about it. So baseline rolls is a 3 or higher, and then anything more difficult, I decide what that target number is, and then you roll with that. So, on a success, your character does what they set out to do. But if you fail to meet the target number, then you basically have a botched roll. So obviously, you do not succeed in what you are doing. So collaboratively, we'll talk about how your character fails. But failure is not always a bad thing in Junior Braves. When you fail a roll, you get what is known as a Brave token. So anytime you fail a roll, you will get a Brave token, and that Brave token sits with you for the rest of the session. So if you fail constantly, you're always going to be gaining those, which is always a good thing. So what these Brave tokens do is you may do 2 things with them. Technically, you can do 3, and I'm going to explain that in a little bit. So the first thing you can do is each of your guys' trope allows you to spend a certain amount of Brave tokens to activate your trope's ability when need be. So you can spend the Brave tokens that you accumulate over a session for the skill of your trope. The second one is you can actually spend Brave tokens to add a +1 to the results of the. So the cool thing is that if you have 3 Brave tokens, you can spend 3 of them if you wish to add a +3 to a roll. So a Brave token adds a +1 to each, and then you can add more on it. Now, the third one, and this is specific to Junior Braves, as a group, when you have a bit of downtime during a scene, so if you're resting, if you're catching your breath, you actually may put some of your personal Brave tokens into the troop pool. So that means that when situations happen, you guys can choose to pull from the pool of Brave tokens instead of your personal points of Brave tokens. But in order to have Brave tokens in the pool, you must take part of your downtime in between scenes when you guys are resting and catching your breath, and you in-game have to decide to do that as well. So that's where the collaborative part comes with this game, is that you have your own pool, but you as a troop of Braves are going to sometimes need to work together. But that is how Brave tokens work. So before we wrap up, my players, I'm going to give you a little bit of homework to do over the next 2 weeks. Even in games, we can't escape school. But this is fun homework. So for my players, your homework over the next 2 weeks is to give me for you to come up with some final details about your characters. So what is their name? So that's obviously a big, how old are they? Since you're all Junior Braves and nobody decided to go mentor or tag along, your age range for a Junior Brave is anywhere between 11 and 16 years old. So you get to choose your character's name, how old they are. I want you to also give me a little bit of who their friends and family are. And then I want you to come up with a little bit of a descriptor of how their home life is and what they like to do in their spare time. So you're going to, over the next 2 weeks, you're actually now going to give me roots in terms of relationships that they have, as well as a little bit of their personality, their likes and dislikes, as well as their age and their. So you guys will have 2 weeks, and this assignment is going to be due when we meet next, because before we get into our first real session, we're going to spend some time and you're going to introduce your characters to everyone. And then we're going to begin this misadventure proper. Oh, this is going to be so good. But that is going to conclude the character creation portion for Brave New Wild. So thank you for tuning into parts 1 and 2. When we come back with the next episode, we're going to get full character introductions, and then I'm going to throw them into this crazy ass story that's about to go down. But as always, this has been your Scoutmaster / guide, Mikey. For all of us here at Vibe Tribe Productions, we would like to say, remember, take care of each other, love one another, and as always, from all of us here at Vibe Tribe, make sure you let the good times roll. Until next episode, we'll see you later. Ta for now.
This has been a Vibe Tribe production. Remember, take care of each other, love one another, and as always, keep those good times rolling. We'll see you next time.